Hello out there, YouTube. What's going on, everyone? It is D Dunn, and we are finally back on Oakland A's franchise, and we have the offseason, which is um, always one of my favorite episodes to play, to record, whatever you want to say. Quick recap: we won the World Series. It came down, so I was not very helpful. We had a crazy first two series against Houston and then against Tampa Bay. We won our first two games. We limited them to only one run. I thought to myself, we got this in the bag, right? We lose game three. Okay, that's unfortunate. But then we come right back, win game four, and I'm like, all right, we just need, one more win. Okay, so we lose. All right, well, we'll get the next one. We don't. We get one more win. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, but it's best. Yeah. And then finally, game seven, we get the win. Crazy, right? LA. Kind of the same situation, except we got our ass kicked the first game. We narrowly win the second game, get our ass kicked again. And this was a user controlled game, I believe, 4-12. I've never actually been beat that bad by the computer, but, they hit a lot of home runs. Game four came, we finally won. And so the way I do my series, if you're unfamiliar, you got, a user control game, a quick manage, a player lock, and then a fully simulated game. So I'd used all those four. Now it came down, the series is tied. We lose this one. I use my player control game and we win. But then the only thing I have left is now just a fully simulated game. So it was a 50-50 shot, the push of a button to win the World Series in Game 7, and we win. Pretty crazy series. That is now 3 World Series wins in the last 5 years. So I think we're definitely approaching dynasty territory. And then Seth Brown wins World Series MVP, hitting over 400 with 3 home runs and 5 ribbies. He also wins postseason MVP with 8 home runs and 16 RBIs, batting .357, outpacing the 99 overall Yordan Alvarez. I think he's 99 overall, 95 overall, by our 80 overall. It's crazy how good he has become over these years. But we are in year 7. We are probably closing in on a time in this franchise where I probably want to start a new one. I think the obvious candidate is the White Sox, but I want to save that for the actual next game that comes out. So I think maybe Colorado will be next, but I'd like to go at least 8 years. This offseason is going to be year 7. And so probably this year, one more season after this one, and we'll see where we're at. If we can win back-to-back World Series, I would feel really, really good about that. Let's take a look at retired players. Anyone that we see here that may stick out. Chichi Gonzalez, I know that name. Although, not sure why, because he doesn't look like he was very good and hasn't played in a long time. So, I don't know, maybe I just played with him, from a different one. Trevor Rosenthal finally retires. He definitely had some good years. Yeah. Because I do, born and raised, or not born, but raised in Missouri, so that would make sense why I would know him, being that he spent lots of years on the Cardinals. Paul Sewald, Will Smith. So we got some names. Tyler Wells finally retires. Interesting enough, only at 34. He actually spent the last 3 seasons with us. 3.5. He was a solid option for us, but he finally, along with Taylor Rogers. Okay, and probably the rest of these guys, poor free agent market probably means they weren't picked up. Paul Blackburn, former Oakland Athletic and former All-Star during the horrendous year where we only won 50 games, I think, on the nose. Okay. And no Hall of Famers. Okay. So the thing is, I just don't know how many moves we can make. Oh, okay. So we have $70 million. We have Jordan Walker, Julio Urias, Michael King, Jojo Romero, Jaime, and Teoscar Yanoya. We cannot afford qualifying offers on any of these players. So I can't afford $23 million for Walker. We somehow got him at $7 million last year. Urias is actually cheaper than I thought, maybe because he's 32. But even still, 18 mil is I don't think we can afford that and keep the Keen the Keen. I'm looking at Michael Keen. Keep the team together. I could look at Michael Keen. I mean, he posted a 4.5 ERA, which isn't stellar, but Jojo Romero, I gotta let go. Last 2 years he's been bad. He had one good year with us, unless he's incredibly cheap. 5 million maybe. 5 million maybe. I would give him like a 1 year prove it deal for like 4.5. We'll offer him that. I don't think he'll accept it. Jaime is regressing, had kind of an off year, but solid bullpen arm. How much did 1 year cost me? I'll give him the same offer, 1 year, 4.5. I don't think he'll accept. And then Teoscar Yanoya, a 78 overall C potential. I would actually consider re-signing. A 4.4 ERA isn't great, but if the player is cheap and getting better, even at age 30, could be worthwhile. But he also wants some money. If I gave you 2 years and $5 million, would you accept that? I don't think these contracts will get accepted. I don't, but we will at least throw them out there. Contracts will get accepted. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. So there's our, like I said, we cannot afford to do qualifying offers. That is the only real downside of having Yordan. But luckily, the way that I set up my contracts, I front load them, so we pay them a lot up front, but that gives us more room down the line. Also gives us the ability to trade them away without much repercussion. All right, we never bunt, so let's go ahead and offer a contract to this fine gentleman, Brian Harper. See if he wants to be our farm director. We don't have any rebranding to do, so let's see if we can get to free agency. And of course, Brian Harper doesn't want to be the farm director for the World Series champion Oakland Athletics. Of course not. Whoops. So who wants to be our farm director now? I mean, really, in these guys, it doesn't matter too much. Like, I really don't even know if this matters too much, except for having an A coach, and you have like a stellar coaching staff that can entice some players to join you. So he's getting offered 3 for 17 total. What? 3 for $17 million. He's getting offered almost $6 million a year. What? Is that real life? How is that possible? Make it make sense. Surely he would rather accept a 3-year, $17 million contract than a 3-year, $4 million contract. But according to the game here, he really wants to be our farm director, I guess. Okay. Keep simulating. All right, so he turns down an insane offer for ours. I don't know why. But we'll take it. We get another A-graded coaching staff member. Last day to tender qualifying offers. We will not stop simulating. Okay. Do we want to offer arbitration to Anthony Kay? I don't think so. We just keep kind of dragging him along, and he never actually gets into the MLB. So I think we got to say goodbye. Let's tender some contracts. If you're watching this um, as a VOD, you might want to skip through this part because it tends to be kind of tedious. Because most of these guys were just trying to get them on a 1 year deal. Lawrence Butler, curious. Do we think he's going to be a potential piece for us in the future? He's 28 years old. He had a pretty good season. I expected a little bit more, but he also only had 200 at bats. He's decent enough defensively. He's decent enough offensively. I think 5 years and $3 million for a bench bat is pretty solid. He might even accept it like 2.8. No, we'll give him 3 for 5 years. It's more than fair. Henry Hinojo, we got via trade, and he might actually make the major league squad this year, depending on what happens with the rest of our roster. Now, Mark Winkler, we also got in a trade, and he was phenomenal. Like, closer potential. 54 innings and a 1.3 ERA and a .96 whip is stupid. I want to sign him for a long time. Like, 10 years for $4 million is a no-brainer. This is another reason why you might want to skip ahead if you're not watching this live, because that's annoying. All right, so I'm sure we'll offer like 4.3, and we will also front load this. That way, by the time he's 30 years old and he's like absolutely peaked, we'll be paying him like $1 million for, a closer of the year candidate. Andreas Gillian, I don't know why the game wants me to pay him, $800K, but we're not going to do that. Same with Colby Thomas. Don't know why the game does this. Some guys, they just randomly want me to give them like $1 million a year to play, double A ball. Probably not going to happen. Maybe like these guys were all stars. I don't know. I'm not sure the point, but nevertheless, we make the signings. We do what we got to do. Okay. Now, why does Sean Lima get an MLB contract? I don't know. I think the game just automatically brings him up probably like during the playoff rosters or something. So the game thinks he was actually in the MLB when he was not. He's 33. He's a bench piece. I mean, I'll pay him $650 a year because he can hit. And if something were to happen, injury wise or whatever, it is good to have those depth pieces. Antonio Padilla, which I think is our highest ranked minor leaguer. I think he has been in the top 20 in terms of MLB prospects the last like 2 or 3 years. I'm still waiting to kind of see him make the jump. He's getting to that overall where he, could see some long relief potential, but I really want to protect him in the minors for as long as possible. We did see, Stuart Orr come up and be really successful in the majors and then took a huge step back this year. So that's a little concerning. He's still progressed, which is encouraging. Like, he's still making strides, but it's tough to see this guy looks like he could be something. I mean, 97 walk per 9 is pretty disgusting. Like, that's really good. And he has good velo. I'm just not sure how he got he must have been a relief pitcher in the playoffs that we added. Um, I'll give him a 5-year deal for $900K. That's fine. I mean, if I remember correctly, he did pitch really well in the minors, like disgustingly well. So he probably is worth a contract. I mean, if we're paying him less than $1 million, even for our budget, it's not bad at all. Do we keep the potential relief pitcher Chris Campaneris? I mean, he improved a lot. You know, if he's a 69 potential, you know, so it's still technically a D. Also a great potential. Nice. He could still pitch. So we'll keep him around. Silas Ardoin, he's 28. There's no point in keeping him. I'm sure we can find a backup catcher, a backup AA catcher in free agency if we need to. All right, we're almost through this list. All right, so we have 27 million in pending offers. Projected surplus 70. So that's like what, 43? Roughly 43 million that we'll have in free agency. Yeah, we're not going to offer salary arbitration on Anthony Kay. Our 40-man, sort by potential, see who's not on the 40-man, and then look to see if they're Rule 5 eligible. Most of these guys will not be. Martin Meza is finally Rule 5 eligible. He's an 80 overall. He just is probably one of the most disappointing first-round picks I've ever had in any franchise that I've done. But we will add him. Whoops. Henry Hinojo, like I said, might actually make the MLB roster. So we will add him. And just so you know, if you go over to contract, look in the far right, the very far bottom, it says eligible for Rule 5 draft, yes or no. That's how you know. How many do we have? 37 on our 40-man. So we are kind of running out of room. Max Muncy's not even eligible for the Rule 5 draft, so we'll remove him. Gunnar Hoglund is not eligible, so we'll remove him. And then it would be good to like have him defensively. 36, he'd make 37. I mean, I could see him getting picked up from a team. We'll add him. Maybe we kick him off later. The rest of these guys are kind of whatever. Like Sean Lima, we can remove him. These guys might get picked up off waivers. We can move Austin Allen if he gets picked up. Like, we're not really losing much. Although he was a great backup catcher for us. Some of these guys, I just don't know why they're on the 40-man. Old Dick Lovelady, man. All right, so now we have, so 20, 33. So that, okay, so we're free there. Tender contracts. Now we got to look and see what we need to do. All right, so starting pitcher. If this is our rotation, it's not the worst. 94 overall, Grayson Rodriguez. He finished second in the Cy Young. Stuart Orr, like I said, took a little bit of a step backwards last year, but still improved. So we would expect him to come back and still be pretty good. Anthony Matsui, this would be his MLB debut. He's been good in the minors. He'd probably be about the same as Orr. Hinojo, he was good in the minors. So we would have to rely on some young guys to make a big jump. But like if Orozco can do it, come in and post under a 4 ERA, 1.37 whip, a 3.3 WAR, like maybe all of these guys can, but that's asking. I feel like that's asking a lot. So we could. So I think looking to target a starting pitcher, and then we have so many lefties in the bullpen. Crochet, Ferguson, Newcomb, I think Kyle Brown, Lovelady are all lefties. We need another righty reliever. And then all of our actual position players, I think we're pretty well set. I'm a little worried that Rosario is going to keep regressing, and he didn't have a great year last year. He's a good utility piece. Last year of his deal, maybe we flip him and trade him for someone else. We could upgrade from Lawrence Butler, 80 overall. Not great, but he's still improving, just not great against lefties. But I think the big thing we're going to look for is we're going to look to see if we can get an upgraded starting pitcher or at least a solid option. And then we need one or two probably righty relievers. So, oh boy, we got Bobby Miller. I would love to have him. He was a problem for us in the World Series. We cannot afford him. We can't. Ooh, we could afford Paul Skeens, though. We could afford Paul Skeens, though. He's not the Paul Skeens in real life. He doesn't even have outlier, but he's 27. He can't pitch for shit, though. So he's just not good in simulation, I guess. I imagine in MLB The Show 25, when that comes out, he's going to be absolutely disgusting. So maybe after, in like another season or two, after we get done with this A's franchise, maybe we try and find an updated roster. So like Paul Skeens is amazing and all that. Yuri Perez, he's also not great in sim. I'm never like too enamored with overalls, more so potential than anything. I don't really know why he doesn't simulate well. But we'll keep looking. We'll keep looking. Kyle Harrison could be an option. Or we could look to bring back Arias. He wants 18 million. So no one's offering Dylan Cease. So we have some options. And Kyle Harrison, how much do you want? 30 million. I can't afford you. We're going to make a run to bring Arias back. Oh, man. Taking him until he is 39 just to lower the price would be a little ridiculous. But who was it that we could afford? Kyle Harrison? No. Paul Skeens? Paul Skeens only wants 14 million a year. I find that really odd. Casey Mize actually looks like a pretty solid option. Last 2 years have been good. He also, he broke 200 innings. Super low whip. Good WAR. But what do you want? 20 million a year. Jesus Christ. Flaherty. Did he finally turn a corner? Maybe. 16. The big problem, I'm trying to find someone in the $10 million range. Like a Michael King. But we signed him and he didn't have a good year. So, I don't know. We could offer him. I mean, we'll offer King. We'll offer him like 9.5. He wouldn't be our ace, but okay. 2 years, 9.5. At least gets us on the board. Probably will get us in contention. Just need guys who just can do well and who aren't massively regressing. Holy cow. Garrett Cole still pitching 208 innings at 38 years old. 1 year would be $10 million. Do we think he's still got 1 year left in him? Maybe. We might look. Now we're really, I think, kind of getting close to the bottom of the barrel here. If I could, I would love to bring back Rice. 18 mils a lot. Especially when I could get Paul Skeens, but he's just not good in simulation, which is really frustrating because he looks like he should be good. I just don't think it's worth it to sign him to like a 6-year deal. He's starting to regress. Just doesn't seem worth it. But there's some options here. All right. Well, we'll look. We'll keep looking. Brewstar. I mean, 36 years old. You've got to be cheap as hell, right? 1 year, $7 million. How about 1 year, 5.5? He's 36 years old. He's regressing a lot, but he has been good for a long time. We'll put the offer out there. How much do you want? $6 million a year? I'd be willing to do 2 years for $6 million. Gets us in the running. Okay. This guy should not be good, but somehow is. He also wants about $7 million. I'd give 2 years, $7 million. We'll just throw our name in the hat on a few of these guys. And then let's just look to see if there's anything out here. Shea is back on the market. We don't need him. But, looks like he had some decent years with St. Louis. Probably bat against righties, I guess. That's probably why he only has 200, 300 at bats. We could bring Matt Olson back to the A's. I would do it just for the storyline. He wants $12 million. 24 home runs last year. Regressing his ass off. If I could get Olson though to retire in A, I'd feel pretty happy about it. Oh man. It just sucks because that would actually be a downgrade from what we have. Anyone else here just like really tickling the pickle? Anyone who just like would be a no-brainer? All these guys are so old. Now this guy could be. Didn't have a good year last year, but progressed a lot. He's still progressing. How much are you? 7 million, maybe? If I could find, honestly, like a center fielder, that is something we need actually, is a center fielder. Or just someone in the outfield with speed. Hey, look at that. Someone with speed who can play defense and hit. I just need a good outfielder. I can't afford you, right? No, I can't afford you. Oh, Spencer Steer. And when I say speed, I don't even mean they have to have like 90 speed, just someone. 60, 70 speed, something like that would be great. Jackson Merrill. Decent speed, really good defense, above average bat, can also play second and short. Doesn't seem to hit the ball particularly well. I'm not really sure why, but he's also only 25. So he has some room to improve. PCA. How much do you want? 21. I mean, $14 million seems like a steal, right? And he has no offers. Honestly, if I could get Jordan Walker back, that would be amazing. We got him on $7 million last year. Could we poach another? Should we just post another Astro? My God, imagine adding another Astro that can hit 32 homers. The A's just become the place where Astros go to retire. I mean, I would almost offer just for the memes. He's not fast, which is not what I'm looking for, but We had a terrible defense last year, and we still won the World Series. And he only wants $14 million too. Shoot. He's not regressing yet. Jesus Christ. We'll throw our name in the hat for like 13. No. I don't think we're going to outbid Houston. We'll just withdraw that offer. But I'd be willing to go like, oh. So Jordan Walker's still at the age where a short contract actually is enticing to him. So what if we go like 3 years? Maybe like 3 years, 16? Let's go 3 years, 16. I mean, we got $16 million worth of production out of him last year on a dime. And then we'll also offer on Jackson Merrill for 2 years and $12 million. Okay, so that's probably going to max out. So our offers. So these are our offers. Wait, I did not offer on Jojo Romero. Oh, because I offered him 1 year for $4.5 million. Like, he's not going to accept that. Okay, we have some offers on the table. We could also look to make a trade for an outfielder as well. Are there any good I mean, there's no one on the trade block. Okay. The Pasquatch is on here, though. But, okay. So let's sim. Okay, so JoJo signs with the Guardian. That's fine. Wow. Right off the rip, Bobby Miller gets signed to the Cubs. I mean, at least he's no longer with LA. That helps us a lot. That way we won't have to face him, hopefully, in the playoffs. He gets 10 years, $28 million a year, $280 million contract. Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm just surprised he signed so fast. So we'll sim a few days. Arizona claims Armenteros off of waivers. Okay. Gunnar Hoglund off waivers. That's fine. Max Muncy. So pretty much everyone wants the guys that we took off of our 40-man. And I guess that's fine. Gives us a little bit of roster room. Also should free up some money. All right, so we still have some contracts pending, but these are all. So we have pending offers, $67 million, projected surplus. So I'm over about $7 million. Okay, but we still have some room. So let's check in on who we have offers on. We're winning on Jordan Walker, which is huge. That's actually massive. We're winning on Jackson Merrill as well. We're winning on King. Ooh, I would like to snag at least one of these relievers. Getting Michael King and Yanoya does not make me super happy, but it's, at least we have some depth at starting pitcher. That way we're not having, 3 rookies in our rotation. That would be a little scary. Jackson, I mean, no one's offering on Jackson Merrill, and he's super cheap. So let's actually cut this down. We'll do 2 years, and we're gonna try and get him for the cheap. $10 million a year for a 90 overall 25-year-old who also plays second and short is that would be a super steal. I would rather have Walker because he was with us last year and he was actually really, really good. I would, like, we're not dying for relievers. We just really need more than one righty. um, I mean, I could go. I bet if I did 2 years and 6 million, he would accept. Yeah, that'll probably get Jorge Lopez, and then so they're offering him 9 million a year. We're close on Stefan, whatever. I mean, 3 years for 6, sure. That gets us in the lead there. I mean, if we could sign 2 outfielders that are 90 plus overall with a potential for a combined like $20 million a year, that would be crazy. Okay. So I feel okay. What if I give you 3 years instead of... No, that doesn't do it. All right, well, we'll keep it out there. He probably won't accept it, but we'll keep it out there. Okay, so we're still in the running for some pretty good players. Sim a few more days and check in on our guys. I imagine someone's eventually going to get in the race on Jordan Walker. It doesn't make any sense to me that you would have a free agent coming off a year where he hit almost 30 home runs, 280 average, fast and young, had a WAR of 4.3, which is very good. But, you know, we might get him for the cheap again. All right, so yeah, we lose out on Mariachio. That's fine. 40 mans have to be locked. I think we're good on our 40 man. All right. Nothing really has changed. So again, sim a few more days. Last day for salary arbitration. Do not need to stop simulating. Yankees get Camilo Duvall. Okay. So we do get Jorge Lopez. Okay. That is nice. Strong veteran presence. Really old. The big thing is we just needed some solid righties in our bullpen. Holy hell. We might actually have... If I can just get one of these guys to lock in, I can drop the other one. Okay. Doesn't look like we're going to get Jaime, which is okay. Yeah, so Jaime Bria is no longer interested. That's fine. Angels get the Pasquatch from the Royals. So they give up Yainer Diaz and Jordan Hicks. I don't know if that's a great deal or not. I mean, Pasquatch is pretty... No? He's 31? Okay. So we'll have to face the Pasquatch quite a few times this coming year. All right. Still have Walker, still have Merrill. All right, so we're still winning all the battles that we wanted. It looks like we're... So I have, let's see. 12, 22. So we have 47 in pending offers. Surplus of 53. So we only have 6 million. We still have some really good starting pitchers up here that haven't decided and that we could actually have a shot at, like a Dylan Cease maybe. Or, oh my God, no one's offered on Julio Arias after coming off a Cy Young season. I mean, I'm sorry, Julio. Like, all right, we'll do 4 years at. This is what's crazy to me. Julio Arias doesn't want to be on the A's because he says we're not a contender after he won the Cy Young with us and we won the World Series. Like, that's insane to me. I hope in future MLB The Show, like, that makes more sense. So we will offer him $15 million a year for 4 years. It's a very shitty offer for a Cy Young candidate, but no one else wants him, and I would love to bring him back. Like, that's just a no-brainer. And that would make me feel a lot better about our rotation. I really just need either Jackson Merrill or Jordan Walker to sign, preferably Jordan Walker. That way I can afford him. Because right now I can't afford all three. I could look at to drop King or Yanoya, but I don't mind having them as depth pieces. So we'll see. We'll see. Probably have to take this like 1 or 2 days at a time. All right. Have all my... all right. So... like, why are you not accepting these contracts? Fair enough. You lived your best life. Okay. Still have no signings. Please, someone sign. Because I'm probably going to have to cancel at least an offer or two. Damn it. So the Pirates swoop in and get Arias. They're paying him 22 plus $million a year. We cannot compete with that, unfortunately. Damn it. I really, like, no. I mean, I'm glad he went out and he got his money. Okay, we do get Stefan, whatever. All right, what does that do for our money situation? All right, we're still plus $6 million. So I think we're still in a pretty good spot here. A few days, check on it. Still good. Okay. Guardians get Geraldo Perdomo. Wow, he had a 324 average. Oh, wow, max contract, 7 years, $35 million. He's getting paid. The Brewers get Dylan Cease. And we are still winning on all of our remaining offers. All right. Astros trade for Dalton Varsho. Which... okay. We don't really care about the draft lottery. we already know where we're picking. Okay. So no one wants to accept some offers. We will never simulate the Rule 5 draft. Diamondbacks get Skeens. Astros get Jack Flaherty, so we'll have to see him quite a bit. It's unfortunate. All right. So we want to advance and skip selection. Otherwise, the computer will always pick someone for you that's really stupid. So we'll skip it. Okay. Check in on our free agents. We are. Okay. All right. So the Cubbies are coming in for Michael King. He had a 4.57 ERA last year. Like, he's 33. We're not missing much. That's fine. We'll go ahead and just pull our offer. All right. So now we have $15 million to spend. So what we could do, and if we pull our offer on Teoscar Yanoya, we would have close to $20 million to spend. Oh. Wait. Oh, okay. And then if we can get one of these yahoos to finally sign, then we could go in on like a Kyle Harrison. I kind of like that. Do we feel good about our starting pitchers? Not great. I don't feel great about starting Gillian Hinojo and Matsui. Would all likely be at the MLB level, and they would all be rookies. We would have 3 rookies in our rotation, or at least 2, of them in the rotation and a long reliever. Oh, sweet child of mine. Okay. What's our outfield situation? If I even sign them both, does that help us? Yes, because... And we could trade... How much are we paying Rosario? $5 million? That could free up some space. I can feel I feel shit turning in my brain. The cogs turning in my brain. I don't want to play the waiting game, but I have to do something. Is there anyone that is just destroying our budget? I mean, Jordan, we're obviously paying him $1 bazillion, but for good reason. Then Verdugo, who is regressing, had a bad season last year, but bad season from his standards is still a very good season. Crochet, Rodriguez, Brownie, our World Series and DV. Yeah, I don't really see anyone that I really would trade away. I mean, 6 million for Noda as a bench bat is kind of a lot. I could drop Noda. I could package Noda and Rosario. Save myself, 8 million or so, depending on who I get back. I just really need one of these guys to sign, so I know how much money I have. We have 31 in pending offers, so roughly $17 million. What does 1 year 17 million get me? That actually puts us in the lead. Okay, I think that seals it. So we're trying to pay Oscar Yanoya $5 million a year, right? Yeah. All right, so we're going to withdraw this offer. I'm just looking, hold on. So it says our pending offers are 43 million. So now why does it say my pending offer